It's no secret that women test men. Whether it's to gauge a man's interest, determine his worth, or simply to have some fun, they are constantly putting men through their paces. Because Sigma males create an aura of mystery and are often hard to read, it's very difficult for women to understand what they're thinking. Women often feel drawn to their enigmatic nature, but don't know how to get their attention. This often leads them to test Sigma in order to gauge his interest and see what he's made of. Women want to see if they can crack the code and get Sigma to let his guard down. Because Sigma men are very private and independent, they are often perceived as unapproachable and uninterested. This couldn't be further from the truth. They are actually the best partners out there. They are incredibly loyal and supportive, knowing exactly when to give space and when to be there. Here are 9 ways women secretly test Sigma males. 1. She tests his confidence by challenging him. While some women may do this overtly, others will do it in a more subtle way. Because Sigma males are known for their unshakable confidence, women will often test this by challenging their views or opinions. She may also play devil's advocate in an attempt to get him to second-guess himself. While this may seem an annoyance, it's actually a woman's way of understanding him better. She wants to see if he can stay calm and collected under pressure. Sigma men are logical thinkers and can easily see through a woman's tests. This helps them stay one step ahead, always knowing what the next move should be. What women don't know is that Sigmas often use these challenges as an opportunity to further understand how their minds work and what they are thinking. It's like a mental chess match for them, always trying to stay one step ahead. Their intelligence and quick wit often disarm women, leaving them even more intrigued. This is one of the reasons why women can't help but be attracted to Sigma males. Appearance is one thing, but a quick wit and intelligent mind are incredibly sexy. When a Sigma is mentally stimulated, they are in their element and shine the brightest. This is where their confidence really comes through. 2. She sends mixed signals. This is a common tactic women use to test men. They will send mixed signals to see how he reacts. For example, she may be hot one minute and cold the next, or she may be interested in him one day and completely indifferent the next. This is all part of a woman's way of testing a man's interest and seeing how far he's willing to go to win her over. Men often get caught up in the games and start to second-guess themselves. They may begin to wonder if they are doing something wrong or if they are reading the situation correctly. This is where Sigma males shine. They often see through these games and refuse to play along. This allows them to stay focused on their goals and maintain their frame. They will let her know they won't put up with her nonsense, and she needs to either step up or step aside. This usually leads her to become more interested or back off entirely. Either way, it's a win-win situation for Sigmas. They know how to screen women efficiently and are not afraid to let them go if they are not a good match. They will never waste their time chasing after someone who sends them mixed signals. This huge time saver allows them to focus their energy on more fruitful pursuits. 3. She gives him the silent treatment. This is when she completely ignores him and pretends like he doesn't exist. She may do this in response to something he said or did, or she may just do it for no reason at all. Either way, it's a way of testing. The goal is to see how he will react and whether or not he will cave into her demands. The Sigma is not the type of man who will put up with this nonsense. He knows that the silent treatment is just a childish way to get attention. He will often just ignore her until she gets tired and goes away. In some cases, he may even give her the silent treatment right back. This usually works like a charm, and she will soon come crawling back to him begging for forgiveness. The silent treatment is just one of the many games that women play. While this game is often a very powerful tool that women use to control men, it is completely useless against Sigma males. Because Sigmas love their alone time, they might think the silent treatment is a blessing in disguise. It gives them a chance to relax in peace and quiet. In fact, Some Sigmas might even enjoy the silent treatment because it gives them a much-needed break from the constant chatter of some women. This is the moment when women get a taste of their own medicine and realize that the silent treatment is not as effective as they thought it was. 4. She uses reverse psychology. This is another typical tactic women use to test men. They will say one thing but mean the opposite to see how he reacts. For example, she may tell him that she's not looking for anything serious when she really is, or she may act disinterested in trying to get him to pursue her. This is all part of a woman's way of testing a man's interest and seeing how far he's willing to go to win her over. Sigma males are often one step ahead when it comes to reverse psychology. They can see through the facade and understand what a woman is really trying to say. This helps them remain calm and collected, never getting caught up in the games. For Sigma, reverse psychology is just another opportunity to test their intelligence and see how well they can read people. They see it as a challenge and often enjoy figuring out what a woman is really thinking. They often find it amusing when they can see through her tactics and often find themselves smiling in the face of adversity. While some women may find this disarming, it only serves to further intrigue. Using reverse psychology on a Sigma male is often a fruitless endeavor, but it's one that women can't help but try. 5. She makes a point of disagreeing with him on everything. This is a tricky one. Oftentimes, women will try to test a man by disagreeing with him on everything. While many men fail this test because they take the bait and start to argue with her, Sigma males often find themselves thinking that she's really doing it on purpose, or if this is her point of view. Because they like independent women with their own opinions, this often puts them in a difficult situation. They will listen to her opinion and try to understand where she's coming from. This doesn't mean they will always agree with her, but they will at least try to see things from her perspective. Of course, it doesn't take long for Sigma to figure it out if the woman is just trying to start an argument. In these cases, he will usually just agree for the sake of peace and then move on. Testing a Sigma male this way is often useless because they are not the type of men who get easily defensive or riled up. They know how to keep cool and refuse to engage in petty arguments. Moreover, they are often very good at diffusing tense situations. If she hasn't already figured out the Sigma character, she soon will. He is not one to be easily fooled or manipulated. He knows how to see through her games and often has the upper hand in these situations. Of course, there are times when a woman is just being difficult for the sake of being difficult. In these cases, the Sigma just walks away and leaves her to her own devices. There's no point in trying to reason with someone who is clearly not interested in rational discussion. 6. She tests him to see if he's paying attention. This is when she tries to see how much attention he's really paying to her. She might make subtle changes in her appearance or behavior and see if he notices. She might also drop hints about things she wants or needs and see if he picks up on them. If he doesn't, she'll usually get upset and accuse him of not paying enough attention to her. The Sigma is the type of man who is always paying attention. He notices everything, even the smallest details. This can be both a good and a bad thing. It's good because he's always aware of his surroundings and knows what's going on. It's bad because it can sometimes make him seem paranoid or suspicious. Sigma men are very observant and often think more analytically than other men. They are more likely to notice things that others might not, whether it's a change in someone's behavior or a small detail that others might overlook. This is one of the things that makes them such great leaders. They can see the big picture and are always aware of what's happening around them. Sigma males often pass this test without even realizing it. Because they are always paying attention, they will usually notice any changes. However, this can sometimes be a problem because she might think he's being too observant, and it could make her feel uncomfortable. 7. She wants to see if she can change his mind. This is when she tries to convince him to see things her way. She might use logic, reason, or emotional manipulation to try and change his opinion. If he doesn't give in, she'll usually get upset and accuse him of being stubborn or inflexible. The Sigma is the type of man who is very firm in his convictions. He knows what he believes and isn't easily swayed. He is open-minded and willing to listen to other people's opinions, but at the end of the day, he will always make his own decisions. This is usually a test she will only try once. If he doesn't give in, she'll give up. She knows it's not worth her time trying to change his mind. He's not going to budge. Of course, there are very few things she can do to actually change his mind. She might be able to convince him to see things her way on rare occasions, but for the most part, he's going to stick to his guns. 8. She tests his emotional commitment by being ambiguous. This is when she's not sure if she wants to be in a relationship or not. She might string him along and keep him on the hook, testing to see how committed he is and how much he's willing to put up with. He will never pressure or try to convince her to be with him. Sigma male is the type of man who knows it will happen if it's meant to be. He doesn't need to force anything. However, if too much time passes and she still uses this immature test, he will immediately move on. He's not going to wait around forever, and he's not going to put up with her games. While Sigma man is patient, he's not a doormat. He knows his worth and won't tolerate being treated poorly. 9. She tests his boundaries. This is when she tries to push him to see how far he will let her go. She might say or do things designed to make him uncomfortable. Whether it's crossing the line with her words or actions, she's testing to see how he will respond. The Sigma knows his own boundaries and won't tolerate anyone pushing him around. He is very firm with his boundaries and will clarify what is and is not acceptable. In some cases, he may even need to put his foot down and walk away from the situation, depending on how far she's trying to push him. While testing boundaries is something that Sigma males also use, but in a different context, women often use this to control men. They want to see how much they can get away with before he finally puts his foot down. This is usually a power play and a way for her to assert her dominance over him. While she uses it as a test at first, it often quickly escalates into a game of control. If a man doesn't stand firm, this could quickly spiral out of control. This usually happens with beta males who are too afraid to put their foot down. While some alpha males don't realize it's a test and may react aggressively, Sigma males usually see right through it. The Sigma knows how to handle these situations and won't let her control him with her games.